Hello, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. Now let's carry on with the one we've got solved. How's everyone doing today? I hope you are all well. So we finished this one, but I'm zooming out a little bit because I think I wanted to go over this side because look, that one's got plenty left to do. We've got some nice easy ones to do, so we might as well look at that. Not solved. You can press Q to flood an entire region with color. I like that. Okay, so this rule is each region contains exactly one of each symbol. So this one must have that. This and this one must be together. So I will do that. And then that finishes. That's really easy, the flood. So we can zoom in down here. We've got another nice easy level 2. So this one needs to come out. I'm going to go in there. I can't do that. Okay. So this one must do this. And then we flood that region. Nice. How's everyone? Are we all okay? All looking forward to some puzzles? Oh, look, hidden in here. What do we got? Level 2. Let's do that. Oh, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different shapes now. So I'm guessing if we do... can't do that. But that. Now we're going blue, yellow, green, red. No, I've got to get a red from there. So that is wrong. Let's just undo. I just thought I could just simply go through, so we come back here. Now we do know that that one has to come out, that one, so they have to join and that has to go there, which does mean that this is, I want to change that color. Now this one, these all have to join, but which red is it? It can't be that one, because that would block this off. So this comes out and that has to go there. So it must be there. Now which blue does this take? This has to take this blue, which means this comes out and goes this way and has to get a red and can't. Hang on. Struggling. So we'll start again. Blue comes out, which means the green is part of that. It's got to take one of those. Don't know, but the blue comes out, must have the red, can only take one. And we know the yellow comes out there. I'm setting this up just to go through it as logic. Now we know that's happening. This needs a yellow. Can go through the blue to get it, but it can only get, well, obviously the only yellow that this can take is that one, which means this needs to go and get, that's got that blue. We're back at this, we're getting that green. I see where this is going. I see where this is going. Yellow, red. Oh, that might not be the case, because this is blue, green, red. Oh, that can take that one as well. So this could do that with this blue doing yellow, green, red. This blue doing that. This needs a yellow and a green, and this needs a red and a yellow. There we go. And that's the window complete. But we've got 7 more that we need to do to complete that. Only 7. Only 7. Now, are they over here? Because there's lots in this region. So I'm just going to go see which ones do which. All regions must be this shape. Okay. And they must contain exactly 1. So this goes out at least 2, this goes out at least 2, and this goes out at least 2. Now they're 4 long. So what can that tell me about this? Oh, this one also comes out at least 2. Now this one's really interesting. I think we were going to do this, but we don't know which way. You can't go this way, so let's go this way. I want to change the colour of it, which means this one I think we go this way. This one looks like this, with this one doing this. And the last one filled that in. Did that count? Yes, that did. So we're on the right track. We're doing the right puzzles. So they're all L-shaped regions. That's intriguing. So interesting. Now this one comes out. Now this one, we can't come any further, so we know has to go this way, and then we've got this locked off. We know that's correct. Now this one comes out, but I don't know if it joins this or not. This one can't, so this one has to do that. I'm just going to change the colour. So that one can't do that, which means it has to do this. Because of course if it goes that way it doesn't get a blue. Now, where are we at? I'm looking at this and thinking this could go either way. But if it comes down here, then we can't get an L shape from this one. This has to take that, otherwise we're locking it out, which means this one has to come out. It could go this way, or could go that way. If it goes this way, we're in trouble. So I'm pretty certain this comes this way, with this as the next one, and then we go fill it in with the Q. Lovely. So we've got to have one of each in there, and we've got the 4 different colours now. 4 different colours. So if I look at this red, the only one that this can join, the only yellow it can join is that one, and the only blue it can join is that one. But that's not entirely true, because if we went through the green it could get to that. But I do know that those two have to join. Even that's not entirely true, because it could come through this and go Actually, no. It can't get to any other without locking this off. And with regards to blues, it could go up to there. Now, what are we looking at? This red has to take one of those blues. If it takes this, it can't get to a yellow. So we'll go that way, and then there's plenty of greens to look at. But now this blue, the only way this can go now is there, and now that has to join there. This blue has to come this way, and this one has to go there, so this green comes there. Just going to change that color again. Needs a red and a yellow, so it can go round to get that. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go around and get the yellow, and then this one takes that and comes around and grabs that one. A little tricksy at the end there, but we got there. We got a level 1. We better do the level 1. Better do the level 1. So these all come out to start with, because this has to get around this one, which means this has to come further. These got to be separated, so that's got to come there, that's got to come down. Now this definitely does mean that this one has to come further, which means this one has to come further. Now I'm going to do this. I'm just going to... I see the solution now. I see the solution. Done. A little wee spiral snail shell. Looks good, doesn't it? Three more to go. Which three are they though? Because there's a lot of puzzles in this area. Do I not have to do them all? What's going on? 2, 2. So 1 there. Let's see what this does. Well, we'll separate those off to start with. So this has got to come out there. This one's coming this way. Now, it's pretty certain we're getting that. And that means this is coming out. Needs a yellow, but I don't know which blue it's going to get. Red. No, look at that. Tricky. Oh, okay, we do this. There we go, I didn't see that. So if I go yellow, blue, red, need a yellow. And that one's got to, it can't be it. So we'll give this a blue. That's got to go that way then, and then they'll go there. Yes. That did count. Okay, we've got 3s. What are these 2s here then? Same rows, window 1. So these have got to separate, which means this has to come out here and this has to... Well, it doesn't have to, but... They can't go, so that's there. Which has... Needs a red. And the only red it can reach is this one. Now blue needs a green and a red. Which means it needs a yellow, and so that's all that can get. And this feels like it's falling into place. The blue, a green, and a red. These two need to separate, so the blue needs to go that way because they can't be in the same region, which means this gets that yellow. These need to separate. This can't carry on that way. I'm just going to put some lines in between these. And when you do that, you can see that this goes there, this goes to there, this one has to come out here, and that leaves, boom, to finish it. Love that satisfying sound. Oh yeah, did that count? It did, so we've got extra puzzles floating around in this region. I wonder what that's going to do for us. Ooh, look at this. So, separating things off to start with. Drawing it out so that it can come out as it needs to, because this one needs to come out. Now I don't know which way this goes, but this one comes out, which means that this has to come out further. That's cut off, so this one comes out further and cannot be there, cannot connect there. This one is done but may go further. It may go further, so this definitely does need to come out. Oh, I don't need that, but I do need that. Intriguing. This can't join there. Comes this way. This can't join there. This must come out and cannot join there. So this one comes all the way out there. And this must come out there, so this has to block off as this one comes all the way there. Oh, would you look at that? We've got ourselves to there. Now with this one comes here. This one must come there. Now we don't know where they finish, but we know that that can't go there. Now, these two can't join, so this one needs to come all the way around to there. As we block off this area, this one has to come out and cannot be there, so this one comes there. Now as this blue trail carries on, we need to go past there because we know that cannot join. So we're getting there. We are getting there. So now we've got this one must come out there, can't join there, and then needs to come, can't join there, so I'm going to change the color. That's good. Comes to here, can't join there or there, so must join there. Now this one comes out here. It's going to go further because it cannot join this or this. This one comes out and is grabbing straight away. It's red. Now we'll drop this end off because we know that this one is coming all the way around to there. And would you look at that? That leaves that for the red and that for the blue. We are done. Oh, okay, that's only got us to silver. I thought that got us to gold. So we have 13 puzzles left to go. Well, we better get a move on then, hadn't we? We had better get a move on. So we're looking at 2s. We were doing difficulty 2s. Do this one in the corner. Now, shape bank. We've got a couple of different shapes we've got to use. And they've got to have each of the regions in. So most importantly, now this is where we get interesting. This blue, we know that it can't do things like that. So it's got to take this. Now we don't know which end goes longer. This red, same sort of thing, because it can't go at that top, can't go at the bottom, so the red is going this way. Now we don't know which end goes longer, and we've seen that we'll use this again, we'll go this way. Now, what is left for us? I am thinking that this one, we can't do this way. We can do this, and we can do this. Now, here's the tricky thing, because I think we're doing this. The longer ones. Done. Look at that. There's a 6, and there's a 5 hidden in the back there. Got to remember the 5's hidden in the back there. Let's do a 2. Oh, we've done that too. Got a couple of little 2's here, let's do them. Oh, would you look at that? Pretty simple, except this, somewhere in here, these need to be different regions. So what I'm going to do is do this. That can't happen. So I'm going to do that to start with. Now, interestingly, this needs to go all the way there so that it's not on the same side. But this can come there. And you know what? Done. And we're looking at something similar here. Well, look at that. Would you look at that straight away? That blue is locking off that yellow triangle, so we're going to go in there straight away, and we need to come out there. So this needs to get a red, and the rest just needs to fill in. So if I take this, no, I can't take that, that's the thing. And I can't go that way. So I've got to go this way, can't take the yellow, go all the way around the outside, let's do that. And then if I just fill this with that. Nice. Got some 4's over here. And it looks like we're into the 3 difficulties now. Let's race through the 3's. Nothing restricting us, so we'll go. Draw the lines where we can. This must take that. And that must take that, which means that line is drawn. This one comes out. That line is drawn, so it must come that way. That can't join that side. And because we know it can't be both sides of the wall, we know it goes this way. It's giving us a start. These two, the blue can't join that region. So this must come out there. And that must be complete. Now, this red needs a blue. And we know that it can't take this one. Everything else is difficult. So this red comes out this way. It's going to take this one. I think we fill this region in. And I think it comes and joins that. And goes there. So this red takes this. And we're looking for a blue. So I'll take that one. But I'm also going to... Oh, hang on. We need a yellow. Now I did feel like this was being a bit restrictive, so I want to go around here with this. Take that yellow. This needs a yellow as well. But this area doesn't need a blue, but can go a bit further, just to avoid that this one having to go and be both sides of its wall. Nicely done. Nicely done. We'll do another 3. So, we've got 5 shapes now, is it? Yes. Okay. Okay. So one thing to start with here. Where do we start? Where do we start? Where do we start? I'm not seeing anything, any colours side by side. All I know is that these two can't join. And this one can't be in the same area as this one. But that doesn't really give us much. This means that this blue and that one are different. So how does this get to a green? This blue must be connected to this and that one. It must, which means it can't be connected there. And it needs a green, so it must come out. This needs a red, so it must take that red. Oh, that's creating a challenge because now this space has to be different. Which means this is coming this way. This needs a green, and it can't be that green. I think this has to come around here, which it can't do. No. No. Okay, what's my next logical step? I know that these can't join. But where are you heading? Don't know. I don't know. How many shapes are there anyway? There's 4 separate shapes. One, 2, 3, 4. I need a green. This doesn't feel right. Okay, maybe it is. What if I take that green? And then I do this. Yellow. Leaving this to come out here, take a blue. And then this can get the green. Nicely done. The 3s are a bit more challenging than I thought. Oh, okay. That's a start. So these two are different. And we've got 3 areas. And this is a different color as well. I want to do... Yeah, let's do that. So logically, because I have to have a blue, I want to go this way. This is a different color. I feel it's coming around. If I'm doing this, actually that could do that. And it just, okay, I do want to see this as the extra color. I mean, it doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. But this can be... Oh, that's why it doesn't feel right. Because now we're working on this. This is the challenge part. how to get these in different regions. Actually, I might restart, because we know we've got 3 different areas to get to. And we know these 2 have to be different. So if we start here, we don't know which way we're going. But let's just assume that that's simple. Then we take this one, and that goes different. And that has to come out. So we're wrong already. Where's the logic start for this? How do we logically start? Well, we do logically start by one way or another. These 2 have to be different, but I don't know which way this goes. And I do know that those are different. See, if I do that, that's locking that in. So I might as well take that. This doesn't feel right though, because that locks this in and can't be done. I mean, this feels strange and won't work. But somehow I feel that is different from this one. Which doesn't work. No, there's 2 on this side, so 2 have to come out. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting logical part. One of these has to come out. One of these, only one of them. And which one can be the one that comes out? This one. This one is the one that comes out there. These must join. So that must happen. Now then, I can't do that. So what I need to do then is take this around to go to this side and then bring these there. That should have been simpler. Can't join there. Now then, we've got 4 pieces to fill this entire thing with. Interesting. So I know that this one can't be our little blue. If I do this, I know that I can then take this one around and take that. This one has to but then you see that one can't be that one. That one can't come to here. So how do we do that? Can this one be this one? See, that doesn't feel right to me. we know that this one can't join to this one or this one, so this one has to join to, and it has to come out this way. Going back to the logic that I have to have. So this one had to come this way. It couldn't go there. So it had to come here, and then it had to come down. Now it can't join there, which means this one has to come out here. And it can't join there. This has to come out, so this has to come out further. Look at me using logic. They can't join, so this one's coming out, this one's coming out further. Look at it go. It fills in. It's filling in itself when we actually use a bit of logic. So that has to come out further. This one does. If that one comes out further, this one comes out further. Now, that must be there. Now, I don't know whether this takes that one or not. This is where we're running into a little problem. Part of me thinks that this one's going to go all the way around. Now, if I did this, got to be careful because we've got a red that we want to cut off. This can't go. Oh, hang on. Can't go there, so it did need to do this. Can't be there, so it does need to go there. Something needs to get in there, so that needs to go there. So it's still working. It's still working. If that can't go there, that goes there. This does come out there. This needs to come further. Look at that. Right now, so we've basically now meant that the only red that this one can get, oh, it's got to go for a blue. It's not going for a red. So this can't go back in there. And if it goes up, it locks off that red. So it can't go this way. It's got to go this way, which means that goes this way, which means that goes this way. Still can't lock it off, still can't lock it off. It's got to go that way. This has to carry on. This has to join into that, which means that has to have that one. This has to carry on. And we're looking for a red, so that's got to go there. Which means this does go all the way to this one. Done. So we've got a 4 over there. How many more we got to go? We have just the 6 more to go. Well then, would you look at that? We're locking them off. So that one comes that way. That's all we know so far. That is all we know. Must be L-shaped, so it can't go that way. Can't go that way. Can't go that way. It must do that. And we'll lock that off. I'm sure there's a quick key for locking that off. Now then, when we start looking at others, what do we see? Now this one, for example, can't go there. Can't do this. can't do that. I think the only way that one can go is that way. I feel that is the only way. This one, if it goes this, it's locking something off, so we can't do that. So I feel that has to do this, which means this has to come down. Because it's got a red in it, it's got to go that way. This must do that. Now we need to fill in the spaces, so that needs to happen. Now then, let's see if we're right. Everything entered so far is correct. Now this one can't go that way, so it must do that. Must. And then we're filling in just the rest of it. Nice and simple. Any more 3s I haven't done? There's a 4 over there, so let's do the 3. Oh, there's only 2 shapes. There is only 2 shapes here. So we know that that is different from that. That's what we're doing. They're different. That's about all we know. Should get the right color. Is that the right color? I don't know. Mostly colorblind. Yeah, we'll use that one. So I know that that has to do that. Now this needs a red. And then I can just do this. Sort of forced it rather than logicked it, but that's okay. It wasn't too challenging. Now we've got 2 shapes, and interestingly, we only have there's 2 sides. So logically speaking, if this is going this way, this one has to somehow take that side, and it can't go there. So this would have to get around, not there. This is weird, because we've got 2 colors that must be on different sides. So if I take that, now somehow this needs to get into the other side. So if I do this instead, like a blue there, so this has all been about getting these on the opposite sides. That's what this has been about. That's all that was. Couple more 3s. Hey, all regions must be either a 3 long or a 2 by 2. Huh, and they can only have 1. So this can't be a 3 long. That's the first of that. Now this one can be a 3 long. This one could be, but then nothing would be in that region. But it can be this way. So this is the first, and so far the only clue I've got. Now this one down here, let's look at this. Now it can't be a 3 long this way. Can it be that? The answer is yes. But then nothing will go in there. So you can't have a 3 long because it won't have a piece in it. There can't be a square. And there can't be a 3 long that way. So that can't happen. Same with this. That would be a square. Okay. Let's see if this works. And then we're falling apart unless we have a square in there. 3, 3, square. Kind of brute forced it. Please don't judge me. Actually, do judge me. Drop the comments and tell me I shouldn't have brute forced that. This one's interesting. So to start with, 3 pieces in each, and then that means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So where do we start? Where do we start? This is interesting. Do we do that? Then that would happen. And the one thing we know for sure is that can't happen, so we'll do that. This needs to come out and do that. Are we making progress? Any progress at all? Hang on. And that's interesting, because now is it working? Is it happening? This blue needs to get to a yellow. Totally brute force that. Totally. So, not complaining too much on that. Okay, how many have we got to go? We've got 1 more to go. I'll do the 4. I'll do the 4. Oh, sorry. And then there's a 6 puzzle, 5 and 6, that I'll do as the bonuses, but I've got to do the 4. So, we know these are different colours. We've got 4 regions. We know that's a different colour again as well. So I think this has to happen because that has to do that. Now the tricky thing is, we need a different region in here. That's really interesting. Because that can't go in there. This has to be a region. That has to be different. And that needs to have this is where we're getting interesting, because this needs to have something in it. It needs to have the shape in it. How do I get a shape in that region? In this region? Because this needs to be a different region as well. Oh, hang on. No, I can't do that. But this can do something. I mean, this is okay. until we try and close this off. But I can do it with the green. No, because this needs to have a shape. Because I mean, they're doing the two. This is crazy. I mean, if I take this any further, can I take that further and then bring this? No, because that's the problem. That's the real problem. Is that this can't get out. This must be a different shape. A different shape. Must be. Different from that. Unless, of course, we do that. But you see, this is always coming through here. So I'm just going to undo everything, restart. We know that this comes through here. Something different, because there is either this shape that needs to come out, or this shape that needs to come out. That's what we know. Now, it can't join this. That's what I am becoming certain of. So this is different. What if we do that? Oh, okay. So this still needs a shape. That has to be different. But then sorry, this was a 4 difficulty? Pretty certain of this. But this might be throwing me off. It may be throwing me off. Can we do that? No, because you see, we need to get more different shapes in here. Can't go there now. Can't go there. But that... If, however, I do this and take that one out, then I can do that. It doesn't have a shape in it. It doesn't have a shape in it. That's the problem. Which shape are you going to get? Sorry team, I'm really struggling with this. I am really struggling. I'm not seeing the logic start point is the real tricky thing here. I don't know which ones can't connect to which. I mean, I know that that's got to come out, but I don't know whether there's a line there or a line there. What I do know is there's a different one coming out there. That's the important thing. Okay, so we're going to logic through from the same here. I don't know where it goes. But what I do know is this is different. And I know that this can't be on there and there. This one must go this way. And so what I'm assuming from here is that now we do this, which means that that has to be there. So that's the third one coming out there. See, we can't do that. I want to just push this through and into there. There, like that. But it doesn't have a symbol in it. And it needs to. No, we can't do that because that's going to block that off. That needs to be different. The only symbol this one can get is that one. That is the only one, because otherwise we're blocking this off, and this needs to come in. That... No, that is where we're at. So that comes down there. Now, this must... Something else comes through here. Something else. How? Because there's a feeling like something's going to go round and do something in a crazy way. But... Oh, can you... You know, you can't go in there now because that has taken that. So... But if I do that... There's no point. So that's something different. That really is. Now this can't do that, because that'll block that area off. But can it do that and take that? No, it can't. They can't be the same. And if they can't be the same, because we know this one can't be that. So the question I am asking myself is, if this can't be that one and it can't be that one, then there's a different one coming out from here that is that. Now, if that's the case, which one does this take? Can do that. Oh, bugger. Bugger, damn. Damn. Thought I had it for a second there. This is really messing with my head. Oh, and I've just gone and cleared everything. Sorry about that. Just got a bit frustrated. There's at least one mistake. Okay. Yep, I thought so. Everything we've entered is correct so far, which means that must be part of that. So this is different. At least one mistake. Well, let's brute force this. Let's really brute force this. Okay. So that locks off there. Brute forcing it. Brute forcing this. There we go. Now if we're doing that, wonder if this is part of the same one. Let's see. Now then. So you can go there. You can come here, here, and here. There. No. There's this. Would you look at that? Okay, if everything I've entered is correct so far, but some regions must be merged. Oh. There we go. I had a feeling it was just going to be those ones. So, look, I'm really sorry. That's quite a disappointing end to the video, with me not being able to get through that that last puzzle, just not seeing the actual solution. My brain just not getting it. So I'm really sorry about that. But thank you for joining me. Please press those buttons to support me, even if I am such a bad gamer. It's part of the reason why I do this, is just to show people that you don't have to be great. You just have to have a little bit of fun. And I do enjoy this game. This is the Artisan of Glimmith. So thank you so much. Please look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family, and we'll catch you another time. See ya.